45 days. That is all it took for Highguard, a game backed by billions of dollars and shoved down our throats at the biggest gaming event of the year, to completely die. Wildlight Entertainment has officially announced that servers are permanently shutting down this month. It is officially Concord 2.0. Over on Reddit, players are ruthlessly mocking it, developers are packing their desks, and publishers are absolutely panicking. But while everyone is busy laughing at the biggest gaming disaster of 2026, they are missing the bigger picture. Highguard crashing and burning in just 45 days is actually a massive win for you, me, and the future of video games. But to understand exactly why this multi-million-dollar disaster is going to secretly save the gaming industry, you first have to understand the fatal, arrogant mistake they made on the biggest stage in the world. To figure out how we ended up in this graveyard, we have to rewind to December 2025, the Game Awards. Jeff Keighley steps on stage for the highly coveted One Last Thing reveal. Historically, this final slot is reserved for the absolute titans of the industry. We're talking Elden Ring, God of War, generation-defining games. The hype was at an all-time high, and instead, we got Highguard, a free-to-play 3 vs 3 hero shooter in a market that has been drowning in hero shooters for half a decade. The collective sigh from the gaming community was so loud, it practically shattered the internet. Putting an unproven, trend-chasing live service game in the final slot of the year's biggest show was marketing suicide. It put a massive target on Highguard's back and set expectations that the game simply couldn't meet. So, Highguard was doomed from the start. But just how fast did it actually die? Well, the community over on Reddit just invented a hilarious new unit of measurement to track it. And honestly, the math is brutal. Because PlayStation's Concord famously shut down in just 14 days back in 2024, gamers have decided that Concords should be the new official unit of time measurement for failed live service games. And Highguard managed to survive for exactly 3.2 Concords. Think about how insane that is. The game was such a financial black hole that Tencent, a company that basically prints money, looked at the player retention data in February, issued mass layoffs, and completely pulled the plug. In a weird, twisted way, players are now arguing that the Concord devs were actually the smart ones for ripping the band-aid off after 2 weeks instead of dragging it out for 45 days. But here is the million-dollar question. How did a massive studio full of industry veterans not see this coming? How do you spend years and hundreds of millions of dollars making a game nobody wants? The answer lies behind closed doors, in a toxic corporate culture that is rotting a gaming from the inside out. The reality is, modern game development is stuck in an echo chamber. Who in the flying fuck are these games actually for? Shareholders. Out-of-touch executives who look at a spreadsheet of Fortnite or Valorant revenue from 4 years ago and scream at their developers, "Make me one of those." Studios are testing these games internally with yes men and paid influencers who are afraid to bite the hand that feeds them. If Wildlight had done a harsh, open beta with real gamers a year ago, they would have known instantly that this wasn't going to work. But instead, they insulated themselves from criticism until the game launched. And reality hit them like a freight train. Millions of dollars wasted, a studio was decimated, and trust broken. Which brings us back to the very start of this video. I promised you that Highguard dying was actually a good thing. How could a disaster of this scale possibly be good for gamers? To be clear, I feel terrible for the ground level developers. Going from the main stage of the Game Awards to being unemployed in under 3 months is a nightmare. But for the industry, this is the massive, undeniable wake-up call we desperately needed. The live service bubble has completely atomized. When a giant like Tencent refuses to fund a live service game past day 45, it sends a shockwave through every single publisher boardroom in the world. Highguard crashing and burning proves to the suits in charge that you cannot force-feed gamers a generic, trend-chasing product just by throwing millions of dollars at marketing. Gamers' time and attention spans are maxed out. We already have our forever games. The only way a new multiplayer game survives today is through genuine, groundbreaking innovation. Because of Concord, and now because of Highguard, executives are going to be absolutely terrified to greenlight another soulless 3 vs 3 or 5 vs 5 hero shooter. The risk is simply too high. They are being backed into a corner where their only viable financial option is to pivot back to making complete, well-crafted, highly creative single-player or co-op video games. The kind of games we actually want to buy. We are witnessing the death of a corporate gaming trend right before our eyes. And honestly, this is a good riddance. But I want to pass the question off to you guys. Is Highguard really the final nail in the coffin for generic hero shooters? Or do you think these executives are just going to stubbornly try this all over again in a couple of years? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. And if we could get this video to outlive Highguard's 45-day lifespan, that'd be amazing.